on. We're gonna have him on for about an hour. This is my man. Like, I met this brother and it felt like an actual brother when I met him. It was interesting that I met him when I was doing, for those that don't know, I do every month I do a 7-day where I don't eat no meat. I just eat fruits and vegetables. So that's all I eat for 7 days. The last time I met this brother, I was on that fast. I just so happened to be on that fast right now. And when I met with the brother, even though he has a different path than mine, it's like we click right away. This brother gave me the greatest gift I've had probably in years. This motherfucker, excuse my language, brought me on the stage. So I'm seeing this brother blast some cat. And the cat that he was battling, I think it was Suave Sever. The cat that he was battling was mad because I think he was from Harlem, but he was from New York. So he was like, I'm supposed to be on his side, but I'm saying to myself, the brother from Cali brought me on the damn stage. So I'm riding with the brother and he body bagged him. Straight body bagged him, straight beat him. We was able to click. So without further ado, I want to introduce my man B Dot, all the way from California, man. Gotta introduce yourself to the audience. You got the floor, brother.
Yo, peace, family. Appreciate y'all having me again. Captain Zaria. What's my brother's name?
Captain Caltazar. Captain Caltazar.
What's up, Caltazar? How you
Hey,
doing,
Shalom,
brother?
what's happening?
Pleasure y'all having me back on, man. I appreciate the love, man. You already know.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, the first time we met, we clicked, man. You know, all ideologies aside, whatever. We brothers at the end of the day.
Damn right.
That love.
Damn right.
And that just meant so much to me because, prior to that, I was watching you on the tube and, learning things from you and shit like that. So it's dope to be able to meet you and, reciprocate that energy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing because a lot of people use their ideologies to kind of divide us, not realizing your ideology is really supposed to bring us together. Like we can always, behind the scenes or whatever, we can have that type of conversation, but that shouldn't stop us from being brothers. And that's what I admired. And there's another thing, if I could make a joke, there's another thing we got in common. I just posted this on my Facebook page. This is a sidebar. This, you don't have to say nothing. This is my own person talking. But I just said this on my Facebook page. I said, every time Polite say or do some dumb shit, somebody either message me the video or tag me in the video. It's like I can't leave that mother. It's like I can't leave him.
It's why Jay-Z can't escape ether.
We got that in common.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We got that in common because I remember that was one of the things you asked me. Like, when do you? Because damn near like every battle you get into, somebody gonna bring up Polite's name, and no matter what, like this whole Gucci thing with Mayweather. When Mayweather did the Gucci thing, and then Polite followed up by supporting him,
and he doubled down.
Like 20 people either tag me or send me the video. Look at him. Look at him. I'm like, okay, I'm not with Polite. Polite does his thing,
but we expected
I do my thing. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised by him supporting Gucci. I'm just wondering why you sending me the video. That's just like 3 years old when I told him to cross the line.
2 reasons why.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
One reason is because they're surprised. You know what I'm saying? Because they get swindled in by Polite's bullshit. And 2, like I was saying, I said it on the status and shit, is that it's like the same reason why why Ether follows him everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was that much of an impact. You know what I'm saying? And it's how many 20 some odd years later and they still talking about Ether.
Right, that's true. That's true.
You did it for the culture.
Did it for the culture. Yeah, man. So me and you definitely got that in common. So we damn near like kindred spirits out this mother scooter, man. So yeah, man. Definitely. Yeah. So
I love P, man, but I can't condone everything that man
did,
man.
Right.
So
it's like anything, like being a brother don't mean that every time he speaks or have an opinion on something, that means that automatically affiliates you with them. You're allowed to have your own opinion and be cool. Like I'm cool with tons of brothers, but some stuff they say, be like, nah, I don't rock with that. But that don't mean that I'm not cool with them. You know what I mean? So the other thing I wanted to big up, man, I saw your tag team. If I could, I saw that tag team battle you had. It was you and Geechee.
Oh, yeah. That's the most fun I had in this battle.
Yeah, listen, man, it's damn near like now you raw as shit on that mic.
Yeah.
But it's like Geechee brought an element back to you, at least from what I saw. Geechee brought an element back to you that I hadn't seen. Like he brought a little bit more of an aggressive side. Now you're aggressive, but I mean aggressive like you know, he had you say nigga use a bitch and shit like that. So like it was it was like good to see that, you know what I mean? Because then people could see, you know, you a regular, you know, because when you be conscious, I'm using that in quotation marks, they automatically think that, you know, you like some soft cat, you ain't from the street, you ain't got that type of background. So when they see you with Geechee, they like, how did that happen? And then when they see you getting gangster, it's like, okay, he's a real cat. So how did that come about? Like you working with Geechee? Because I actually like Geechee. Geechee is like one of the young cats I like. I like his aggressiveness. I like his rawness. So how did that come about where y'all did that together? Like y'all was able to click?
It's actually something we was working on for a couple of years, like as far because we both came in the game around the same time. We both kind of skyrocketed around the same time, and everybody was like, man, you know, if y'all ain't gonna battle, y'all should do a 2-on-2, you know, one of these days. And so we was in the work, and then somebody just dropped the bag for it. You know, Geechee just hit me. He was like, hey, bro, they're gonna drop the bag. This little battle league out of San Diego, they're gonna drop the bag, and it's gonna be against Marvin Quest, who, if you're not familiar with, Marvin Quest are pretty much like legendary veteran 2-on-2 battle team. Like when you say Marvin Quest, it's pretty much saying that they're the best at that 2-on-2 part of it. So to go against them is like to go against the big dogs, just like off the jump, man. So we was excited to do it, and like you saw, man, the chemistry was just there.
That chemistry was amazing.
It allowed me to be that, man, and that's where I be conflicted at. You know, to be quite honest with you, with the whole battle rap stuff, is because you're in a field of, you know, it's like, you know, it's like wolves. You know, you're in a lion's den, so to speak, and you in the lion's den trying to tame the lions with information. And sometimes, you know, part of my language, but sometimes you know you can beat the motherfucking lion up.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm tougher than these dudes. I know I come from a more, you know, thorough environment. And so it's like I have to tone that down when I'm trying to drop the information. But in the Geechee 2-on-2, I was able to just let loose, man.
Yeah, man.
I didn't have no regards.
That shit was raw. And that's almost like the dip between a real lion and like a coward. A lion is not, everybody's not a lion. I know everybody want to be lions, but everybody really not lions.
Right.
But when you got the power, it's almost like when you got the power to do something and you refrain and do it on your own, that's what I really look at as a lion, or look at somebody who's respected. When you're doing it because the other person is more powerful than you, then you really ain't not doing it. You just afraid to do it. So it's almost like having a better control, being seasoned. You know, there's a time to be rah-rah, there's a time not to be rah-rah. So doing that battle, which y'all destroyed them cats, by the way. Doing that battle, I mean, that shit, like, you know, tag teams is iffy because sometimes if the chemistry ain't really right, it could be a little off. You know what I mean? Exactly. So that's what made, when I saw you and Geechee together, what made it even more raw, because although y'all, only thing on the premise y'all have in common, of course, is that y'all both from Cali. Him being a Crip, nobody really know about your background as far as the street. So when you see it and y'all just rocking like brothers, that shit was the bomb. That shit was the bomb.
Man, that's the funnest I had, man. I'm looking forward to. We're supposed to do another one. Matter of fact, I'll let you know, man. Pull you up on stage again, because we're supposed to do another one in New York.
Yeah, listen, man. Bring me up there. Listen, if you need security, if you need anybody, if you need me to kick something, I'm joking, but the real talk about whatever you need. You let me know. That was another thing. Bro. When the brother came, I just wanted to show the brother an X amount of love, because I got a lot of love for brothers like yourself. Anytime I see somebody check a white boy, I love that shit. I like watching that battle, Rum Nitty versus Iron Solomon. Not because Rum Nitty spent all 3 rounds digging in his ass. You know what I mean? So that's why I like that battle right there. Now, before I get into
because he roasted that white boy.
Hell yeah, he roasted. But did you see? He roasted that white boy. B-Dot roasted that white boy. I love that shit too. He had
no, that's what I was talking about. Okay, I don't even know the white boy's name, but I remember like that was like a viral clip. Like that shit went everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Like he wasn't afraid. Yeah, because you know, brothers be gangster. But then they don't really be gangster against the white man. You know, they'll be gangster all day against a brother because that's easy. But it'd be, you know what I mean? But it'd be hard for them to be gangster against the white man. You know what I mean? You ate him. And once again, after I watched that battle, I said, get this nigga off flyer, yo. I was like, he need to be in all black
That's a fact.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Like I saw that, I was like, bro, that shit was fire. I don't know if I'm in.
Yeah. So now, while we on the subject of battles, before I get into your clothing line and stuff like that, we was on the phone. We was talking about your battle with JC. How was that? How was that battle? I think that was your last battle in New York. So how was that battle? Like how was your approach? How you feel you did? Like how was that battle for you?
I think I miscalculated that battle. You know what I'm saying? And I think I did. So I think I didn't keep in mind that the different leagues kind of garner a different attention in the different crowds. So the joint that I brought you to, that was that league was called RBE. More of an accepting environment, if you will, as far as the fan base. Like they're more so they're there to see you do your thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when you go over to Smack, when you go over to the URL side of things, especially in New York, the crowd is more hostile, if you will, and more especially to the West Coast MCs. Like when we come to Smack and it's in New York, that crowd is like, all right, bet you got to win us over. You know what I mean? You got to show us. You know what I mean? We don't care about nothing you did prior to this. You got to show us who you are.
Right.
And I think I kind of miscalculated that. I was expecting the same type of energy,
right, that
like,
you got from the RBE side, right?
It wasn't really like that. And when you go against JC, I mean, JC is arguably in terms of the general consensus, they consider him top 3 or top 1 or 2 just pure writers in the game. You know what I mean? So
I mean, JC, he is a pin. Like he's a pin.
Yeah, he's
what I mean? He's a pin.
Amazing pin. You know what I mean? So I had so many obstacles, and I think I kind of miscalculated. So out of all my battles, I will fight tooth and nail about the other ones, but about this is one that I think I let get away from me, and I probably lost that one. I probably lost that one like slightly. You know what I mean? So,
that's a rarity in battle rap. You know what I mean? Because you kind of feel like you lost that one. I gotta I try not to judge off the first one. I was kind of more so on like a draw because I saw there was things that you did. I saw there was things that he said and stuff like that. So I probably got to watch it a couple more times before. Right now, I'm at a draw. Sometimes I say 2-1 your way. Sometimes I say 2-1 JC way. So I kind of got to watch that a couple of times, which I like battles like that. I mean, excuse me. Now, don't get me wrong. I think I think you 3-0 Swever. Swever got to that karate crap. Like that was like I saw that battle when I thought of Tupac when he said you too old to understand the way the game's told. Like Swever was nice in his time, but he got to go on. Let that shit go. Like that shit was a slaughterhouse. You know what I mean? So, but the JC one, I thought that was definitely a really, really, really good battle. You know what I mean? I thought that was a really good battle, and I thought it could go either way. So now segueing into what you normally do, what? What can you say? What you say? Sierra, you're Judy? What? That's it. Oh yeah. No, don't say that. Okay, so now it was a couple things we was talking about your clothing line, and the reason why I bring up your clothing line for those that don't know, and B-Dot, if you could text me if you got a website to your clothing line, I want to make sure I put it in the chat so that brothers could come and support you.
Unfortunately, we're redoing the website at the moment. It should be up in a couple of days. I can still send it to you.
Yeah, once you get it done, just send it to me, man. I'll push it every week on my show. You know what I mean? Because
bro. I appreciate that.
And it's good that you got your clothing line. It's a popular thing to talk about right now because of course everybody was mad because Gucci had the blackface clothing. But when you think about it, I know with your clothing line, you selling hoodies, shirts, you selling all kind of stuff. We sell hoodies and shirts, so we shouldn't. It's almost sad that you got to be mad at the white clothing line in order to support black clothing line. That's how I be looking at it. You know what I mean? Like we should be supporting the black clothing line, irregardless of whether so if they didn't put the blackface out, you know what that mean, right, B? That mean you wouldn't be getting the support. Neither would I. You know what I mean? So we got to kind of like get past this. So now, just to get your opinion or your take on it, what did you think when you saw the whole blackface of the Gucci clothes? Like, what did that make? What did that do to you from your side?
I honestly didn't have an emotional response to it. I had a more like what you just said. I had more of a logical response. I had a more response like, okay, well, now it's time to support our own, and now hopefully y'all see. And when I say y'all, it's more so talking to the regular black folks that just go on a day to day and don't really care about consciousness or care about the type of stuff that we on. now it's like it takes stuff like that for them to see, and I'm like, well, that's not surprising to me. Like, I know either Gucci, Prada, all these designers, I know they're either anti-black or they're homosexual.
Right.
So it's like either way, either way, y'all supporting some stuff that don't really represent us anyway. So y'all got to get slapped in the face before y'all wake up. You know what I mean? They don't register to us like that. We see that and we already know what time it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I seen that and I immediately thought to myself, here y'all go. Y'all about to get into a little tizzy for a week and it's gonna die down.
Right. It's gonna go away. You know what I mean?
Gonna go away.
You gonna see them in their
T.I. actually said they were going to boycott Gucci. I think he said for 3 months. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the way that you guys are exhibiting black power. Like, that's your black power. You're gonna not spend with them for 3 months. Like, that's it.
Right. Why wouldn't you say forever?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It should be forever, and more so, you should just divert the attention to our clothing lines. You know what I mean?
Right.
What we got going on. So I just think it's all emotion. Like our people, we always emotional. We don't come with logical responses to fight white supremacy, to fight all the stuff we go through. So I just thought it was another example of that.
I think I wanted to add on to that too. I think it's a reflection of the problem with black people on this regard. Like, they get mad at Gucci. So like, you got an artist like T.I., and this is like, it's probably gonna sound like people gonna probably think that I agree with Polite when I make this statement. People gonna probably think that. Polite says something. Now, of course, Polite, and the only reason I'm saying it because I saw Polite's video where he was saying y'all talking about Mayweather, but Polite made a point, but he didn't make a point. Like, Polite made a point in the sense of Mayweather has said don't do drugs. Mayweather has said a lot of things that we shouldn't do, but they getting on him about the Gucci thing. So Polite is saying, how y'all gonna get mad at him on a Gucci thing, but don't support him in not doing drugs and stuff like that? He's correct on half of that. But and when it should be both. So it really should be, we ain't gonna mess with Gucci either, and we ain't gonna do the drugs and all of that. So he can kind of cut a cat like Polite. But for somebody like, cut a cat like T.I., but for somebody like ISUBK, or yourself, we push don't do drugs, and we saying don't support Gucci at the same time. So even though Polite kind of making sense, it come across as a little hypocritical because he's not playing it on the same side. And for T.I. to say he only gonna do that for 3 weeks, so after 3 weeks, that's almost like when Mike Brown gets killed, we gonna march for about 2 weeks. And then after them 2 weeks, he gonna go right back to loving white people, where we gotta have a remedy where black people could just come together until we're together. Like, your clothing line should be supported until we together. Until your clothing line becomes $1 billion business or $1 million business, we shouldn't mess with nothing. Until cross the line, until ISUBK, it should be like that. Then we can go to them other nations and then have a better voice, because right now we don't have a voice, even though we think we do. Kadazai, you gonna say something?
No, it's coming. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like I'd like to thank Donald Trump for it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, realistically, the more racism that comes out, the more oppression. Like, unfortunately, that's the only way that we're gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, like I don't have too many friends in the world. You know what I'm saying? But my man Vic lives in Columbus, Ohio. So I called him after I saw the video. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, either one of you is familiar with the video about the brother ran up inside the bodega and pressed the Arab for asking him for his 13-year-old sister's number.
Yeah, I saw that video. Did you see that video, B-Dot?
No, I didn't. What happened?
There was a brother who ran up in the store and pressed this Arab cat. You understand? And what happened was they ended up shutting down the store after this video. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, so in the video, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was running up in there like, yo, we got girls missing, this, that, and the third. He goes, nah, yo, we shutting this shit down. Y'all ain't gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Because the Arab was like, you know what I'm saying, maybe some 50-year-old cat asking a 13-year-old girl for a number and telling her, don't say nothing. So they shut that store down, and now they're going from store to store to try to get all of them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to find the same ones because they feel as though like the girls are being sex trafficked by the Arabs. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now that rarely happens. You know what I'm saying? But niggas is fed up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a fact.
And you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna continue to happen once again because of all the closet racists that came out, and now it's everywhere. So like now, in one hand, unfortunately, we have to experience it, but on the other hand, you know what I'm saying? It's the only thing that's going to be a driving force to what do you always like to say? To galvanize us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you need things like that in order for us to wake up. It's unfortunate you need a Trump because ISBK, we've been saying the white man is the devil since the 60s. Nobody listened to us. Now you got Trump in there who every day reminds you that the white man is the devil. So now when I be saying, when I go to like my job or something, we start talking about how evil the white man is, I don't get a lot of flack from black people no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I talk about how bad America is, I don't get that same flack no more. So like it used to be, nah, man, especially when Obama was in office, forget about it. When Obama was in office, it was like, nah, we on our way up because Obama in office. When Obama came out and Trump came in, it was like a direct smack to the face. Now, Slugger be that before you get the floor. So I know if you want to say something, concept.
One thing on this topic, I'm lucky to jam you up tonight. Can I get you? Let me say, listen, I don't know what the hell the topic is about. I halfway heard the thing about Gucci, but Officer Kawoyala, move it back a little taste if you don't mind. Officer Kawoyala played a video for me on the way up here, right? Of Steve Harvey.
Oh, we was gonna talk about
the water and what's her name? Michelle?
No, Monique.
Monique. Right. Of Monique. Monique is trying to stand strong on the fact that they should have stood with her against Lee Daniels and Oprah Winfrey and Lionsgate TV. And Steve Harvey is giving her that old Christian argument, fighting for selfishness, and that trying to prove that selfishness is the way to prosperity for all of us. That, of course, reminds me of what you just brought out about Polite and Mayweather. Mayweather and Polite and Steve Harvey, all of them have learned so well from Christianity, y'all. That is the Christian concept. Here's Christianity. Christianity believes that if all of us are selfish, somehow the nation rises. Because we all become more selfish. We all take care of our own houses, our own families, and provide for ourselves so much that because we care about our own livings, somehow the nation makes a living. That is an absolute lie. Listen to me carefully out. You are poor because Gucci is rich. That's why we're poor. We're poor because Lionsgate and this record company and that record company is rich. Their prosperity directly affects our poverty. And the only way we'll ever be poor, we'll ever be rich, is if they are poor. And that's why what General Yohana has been teaching for years is so profitable to us. General Yohana is trying to make Hallmark poor. He's trying to make J.C. Penney, Target, give me some more, Simeon, Walmart, poor, Gucci, poor, all of them poor. Why? Because the more poor they get, the richer we are. And any black person, any Hispanic person that would dare break our spiritual boycott, they're making their nation poor. If you go out, what Steve Harvey is doing and what Floyd Mayweather is doing, they are making their nation poor because they are breaking our boycott. No one is allowed to break it up. When we boycott someone, they're broken. And no one is allowed to cross that boycott. If you don't believe it, look at your unions, man. Every union, the auto workers union, Katazai, the electrical union, every union. The only way a union can exist is if scabs are scorned, if scabs are rejected. Why does someone break a picket line? You're in a union, Kadazar, correct?
No, private sector, actually.
Private sector, in the private sector, correct.
But
you know about unions, right?
Con.
If people went out and if they said, I'm going to get this job, though I'm not union, though the union is against this job, they would prosper. They would get the job. They would make money, but the union would suffer. And that is true in every sector of life. Gucci, Mayweather, Polite, Steve Harvey, anyone who buys Gucci, anyone who celebrates Christmas, anyone who celebrates New Year's Eve is breaking our picket line. And in doing so, what do? They make us all poor.
Right.
We all suffer. We all go into poverty because they have to seek riches. And what Captain Tazaryak is saying is so true. You got to boycott far more than Gucci. Right. You better get ready to boycott. For sure, you need to boycott Valentine's Day.
Right.
You need to boycott them. But Valentine's Day needs to be an absolutely fruitless venture for anyone to try to sell hearts, candies, or flowers in the black community. They need to go poor. Why? Because if the purveyors of Valentine's Day cards are poor, our community raises in wealth. If Gucci goes poor, the fashion industry in our community will get wealthy. And the only way that happens is if we scorn and if we scrutinize and if we vilify anyone who breaks the picket line.
Right.
That goddamn African Polite, he's an African anyway. Tazaryak showed me that. I didn't know who the hell he was until Tazaryak showed me. He is a goddamn African. And the African is so selfish, he cares about nothing but money, nothing but wealth. That's always the way they've been. Now, if we take our cues from the Africans, we'll become a selfish, cannibalistic people, just like every African. You cannot care about paying your own
Not this
bills.
one.
Go ahead,
Not
brother.
this African.
Oh, he's one of them Africans. Shalom. You get the point. We cannot become like them. And now, because of that, what do? We cannibalize each other. We harm each other. Gucci has to get broke. Valentine's Day has to get broke. Christmas has to be suffering and poor and in poverty. And if we make that happen, we will have wealth in our community like has never been seen. But we are going to have to make enemies with those of us who would cross that picket line. Mayweather crossed the picket line. Right. Steve Harvey crossed the picket line.
Right.
Treat them the way a union would treat them. Right. How would a union treat you if you picketed someone and said don't support them and you went in there and tried to work for them? What would happen,
to get
right?
My book.
Yeah. What happened is a 2x4 upside your goddamn head. Unions don't play that out. And I see why they go there in carnality, because a union knows if this scab goes in there and gets a job, it means none of us have a job. Right. It means we all suffer because this one man thought he was more important than the nation. He was more important than all of us. Nah, what Captain Tazaryak is telling you is so true. And I pray that every black man who makes a pair of jeans or a t-shirt could be more wealthy than Gucci. Here's the problem. Gucci has to go broke. Gucci has to go out of business. Walmart has to go out of business. Target has to go out of business. You got to boycott Valentine's Day. You got to boycott Gucci. You got to boycott Christmas. You got to boycott, come on. You got to boycott Mother's Day. You got to boycott Father's Day. You got to boycott April Fool's, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day,
the prison
St.
system.
Patrick's Day. He know all of them. Right. Now, what's your name, brother, on the phone? What's your name, Mark? B-Dot.
Hey, peace, B-Dot, yeah.
B-Dot, can you imagine how wealthy you would be if the wealth of all of these holidays spilled into your lap? My God, B-Dot.
Oh, absolutely.
I want you to have it, B-Dot. I want you to have it, Doc. Listen, I don't make clothes. Does B-Dot make clothes? He got a clothing line. B-Dot, listen, I don't make clothes, Doc. I want you to have it, brother. General Yohana wants you to have it, Doc. General Yohana doesn't make clothes. He wants you to have the wealth that Gucci has, the wealth that Versace has. But what will we do when the rich and the people that are looked up to in our community, if they go buy Versace, then how will B-Dot get money? Right. If they buy Christmas gifts from Target, how will B-Dot sell his clothing? Right. Brother, don't cross our picket line. Right. Don't do it.
That's a fact.
Do not cross our picket line. And the ISUPK has had a picket line since 1969. And we do not allow our enemies to prosper on our watch. The water. Right. Is that it? I'm done. I got to get the hell out of here. Chill out.
That's our general. That's the general in our school. 12 Shield. That was powerful. Yeah, hell yeah, that was powerful. And I know you like listening to it. So now, with that said, I want to I don't know if you want to chime in on that before I switch to like the other stuff that you have going on, B.
No. Hey, I 100% agree with everything he said, and that's what I mean by us, all being on one accord.
Damn right.
Irregardless to titles and whatever. Right. I just feel like we're on the same page at the end of the day. So
yeah, like our strength is in our power, and like the metaphor that General Hyman gave as far as being in the union, not crossing that picket line, is perfect. And we got too many picket line crosses. God damn it. That's what we got. Absolutely. Too many picket line cross. So now what I want to now this part that I'm going to say is to motivate you based on our conversation. The brother said he got a book he working on, but he been working on it for 3 years. So now I'm putting him on the spotlight because he said he got a book he working on. Listen, brother's been trying, like I've done so many lectures myself. Brother's trying to get me to work a book, so I'm trying to use it to motivate both of us. So the book that you wanted to do, what was it about? What inspired it? What made you want to touch on it? So just expound on a little bit of that about your book that you want to bring out.
All right, so yeah, the book I'm working on is about hip hop culture. It's turned for the worse and why that happened. The different mechanics of that, like the different layers of why that happened. How I personally feel that in hip hop's inception, it was based off the spirit, what's inside of us as Black men. We had no way to escape our poverty and our situation, so we used art, to express ourselves and escape out of it. And so, if, at the end of the day, in my opinion, all hip hop should be conscious. I mean, it's cool to have fun and make party records, but I just feel like if we still in our condition, then our music should reflect our condition at all times.
Absolutely.
So, so I'm working on a book to try to break that down as best as I can. I'm not necessarily saying I'm qualified to do so, but I'm just saying I have the passion to do so.
Yeah, if I could chime in, I would never. From your pen game in battle rap, you are more than qualified to write a book.
I appreciate that.
I mean, because when you think about battle rap, one of the reasons why I like battle rap is, especially those that are skilled at it, which is why I'm talking about you. Like, you got to be able to have a scheme. You got to be able to put that scheme together. You got to make it relate to people that ain't thinking like you. So you gotta come up with a scheme that people are gonna be able to understand in less than 3 seconds. Like, you can't drop a bar, and that bar, they got to go like, damn, what that nigga say? He said this and this. Oh, I got it. They got to be able to get that bar immediately. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then even when you hear,
you have to be, not to cut your wisdom.
No, you got it.
On that, you have to be as intricate as possible while being like easily digestible. You know what I mean? Like, you have to give it to them so they can understand it, but then do it in such a brilliant way to where they give you props for the intricacy of it. So,
and you got to keep their attention. So for them 5 to 10 minutes that you got their attention, you got to be able to keep that attention, because Black folk, you say a bar that's whack, you say one bar that's whack and they start booing, you better get it back. If you don't get it back in like the next line or something, you lost the whole battle. You know what I mean? So I listen at the way you do your rhyme still, and there's no way that you're not qualified to do the book. If anything, you're more qualified, because the same way you pen it against your opponent, you have a subject, so you write it. I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to do it. But you gonna say something, Kyle?
No, most definitely. The water. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something I've been saying for years. You know what I'm saying? And Polite touched on it briefly. But once again, he was charging Black men instead of charging white men. You understand?
Okay.
Like you can't blame. You understand? Once again, just like the Christian pastors try to do, you can't blame 15 to 20-year-old rappers for 50 to 70-year-old problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, boycott the record labels that's pushing the bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Boycott the radio stations like that's pushing the bullshit. Because like realistically, if everybody stops tuning in to Hot 97 until they start playing, you understand, instead of playing, you understand, like hit them up, play changes. You get what I'm saying? Then they'll get the method. Now you get the point though. You know what I'm saying?
And also to piggyback off that, I think it's unfair to even make comments. And you know, like I love P, but I disagree with that video that I saw on Instagram because as an artist, I think that it's unfair to make comments about artists because our artistry is about covering both ends of the spectrum. Right. So I may have a song where it sounds like I'm being ignorant, and then I may have a song that's uplifting. So if that was in reference to T.I., you know, I've heard multiple records from that brother that I considered uplifting and giving me some type of inspiration. You know what I mean? So when we talk about Floyd, I mean, maybe he has led by example in terms of his diet, in terms of his, you know, not consuming any alcohol or smoking any weed, but he hasn't made that an agenda for Black people, you know, as a whole. You know what I mean? He hasn't pushed some type of narrative or did some type of, you know, he ain't out there speaking on it. He just saying, this is what I don't do. You know what I mean? And that's cool if you try to lead by example, but I just think it's unfair to say, like you said, you hit it perfectly on the nail. We supposed to be attacking the white and the Jewish people at the top, or the so-called Asians. That's who's at the top. You know what I mean? That's who's controlling the puppets, and that's who's pushing these rap artists, who's pushing all this negative bullshit.
And that's how good, brother. Yeah, and that's how good the white man is. The white man would take an event that we all supposed to be mad at him, and some kind of way, it brings about a further divide between us. You know what I mean? Where we should just say, "Fuck the white man." Excuse my language.
And you know what I mean? And you know what the problem is? We won't, because when you cut him out, you're taking a pay cut. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
which if I could cut this out, was that thing what Steve Harvey said. Steve Harvey, if y'all listen to that clip with Steve Harvey and Monique said, Steve Harvey was like, it's not a Black thing, it's a white thing, it's a money thing. So you can't be the real you and accept that and expect that. And Monique gave the perfect response. She says, okay, you saying it's about the money thing, but what about the integrity thing? And Steve Harvey is like, you got to get rid of the money for the integrity. You understand? So Steve Harvey is telling you where he's at, not, you know, to chime in on what you say.
100%. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, but the money would be there if we do start supporting ourselves to the level where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, like if you got a brother who makes a movie, we should not bootleg his movie. Right. If you got a brother who's putting out music, even though you can download it illegally, you should stream the shit out of it. You should buy it. You understand? You should purchase his merchandise and memorabilia. You understand? Because that's gonna put money in his pocket. You get what I'm saying? Like so on and so forth. So it's like we have to take steps in those directions. But everybody wants to be Jay-Z. Everybody wants to be Oprah. Everybody wants to get into that tax bracket when, realistically, if you could make $100,000 a year doing something like music or something that you love or something where you're working for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Now imagine applying that to a neighborhood or a nation. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we're all winning. You know what I'm saying? But instead, we think we own the Nets because Jay-Z owns 1% of it. You get what I'm saying? Or we attribute their success to the nation's success, like Steve Harvey was trying to say, when that ain't helping us. That ain't helping nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's just, it's helping somebody be greedy. And then what do those people do? You get what I'm saying? Like think about how much money Mayweather got. You know what I'm saying? And then he just turns around and basically just says, listen, fuck the whole struggle, fuck everybody, I'm buying Gucci.
Yeah, man. So now, B-Dot, I don't want to keep you too long. I don't want you to I don't want your kids to get mad at me. We heard him in the background. I love when I be calling B-Dot be like, you know, I got the kids in the background, and I was telling him, I said, that's a beautiful thing. Right. To hear B-Dot on the interview, and then you hear his kids in the background, like that just shows, as father, especially from a father perspective. From a father perspective, Black America needs to see that we are fathers. You know what I mean? That fathers aren't absent and stuff like that. So I love hearing them kids in the background. I think you might have muted the phone a couple times. Let them kids yell. Let us hear the kids. Let us hear the kids.
You know what? I appreciate that, man. Like I was telling you earlier, you gave me a whole new perspective on that because I wasn't. My thing was thinking about just being professional as possible and respectful to your platform. But when you said that, I'm like, you know what? It's deeper than just him having me on as a guest. This is my brother. I'm about to
hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somebody put in the chat. I'm gonna read this comment. Somebody put in the chat. Somebody said, wait. B dot is to Zaryak only African. That's what they said.
Powerful.
You know what I mean? Like I wanted to read that. I wanted to read that comment, and the reason why I read it is because that can be the explanation as to why we click the way that we click. You know what I mean? So you're right. You called into a show, but you called into your brother's show. So bring the children, bring the wives, bring whatever it is you got to bring on the show. This is how we get down. You know what I mean? You don't have to mute none of that or anything like that. We rock as always. So we did the clothing line, we did the book. Now I got him on record too, y'all. The next time he come to New York, Cap will be back on the stage. I got him on record. I remember that clip. Be back on the stage. Now you was also talking about a podcast.
Does that have a +1 though?
We'll see about the +1.
I got you, my brother. Don't even trip.
My man.
Yeah, man. Now I want to plug in before we let you go because I don't want to keep you too long. You was also saying that you had a podcast as well.
Yeah. I just started a podcast with my little brother. We've been talking about doing it for years. So we shot our first episode, and I'll try to shoot you the YouTube.
Yeah, shoot me the YouTube link for that, so I can put it on there. And if you ever bring any guests, I'll be more than willing to come on, and be a guest on your show.
You know what, man? You know what I was already thinking. What I really wanted to do, because obviously you can do a better job than I can, breaking down the whole Hebrew Israelite perspective.
Right.
Because what happened after my JC battles, a lot of people was interested in the dialogue that me and him had. And what I wanted to do on my podcast one of these days is bring you on.
Oh yeah,
so
I'm down.
Break that down, and not to go at not to do no back and forth, but so you could just break it down and explain like what that is, because a lot of people ask me, our people are so blind out here, bro. They don't even know what that is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So people was asking me, so they was getting confused. They was like, so what was you saying? You were saying JC was a Muslim? Or I'm like, no, the brother's a Hebrew Israelite. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really get it, man. So if I can have you on the show one time breaking that down.
Listen, you can have me on the show anytime you want. You call me up. And you say, like, let's say if you call me up and say, man, I'm doing a show with an hour. Can you come on? I'm on. You call me up and say it's 2 weeks ago. I'm on. It's almost like an open, like I called you and say, hey man, you want to be on the show? You came on. So why would I not show that same love in return?
Right.
You hit me up anytime. No doubt. You know what I mean? You more than welcome. You almost like a, you ever used to watch that show Cheers when I was little, and every time Norm walked in the bar, they would say, Norm, that's B Dot on the show. B Dot got an open invitation. He's like the silent guest, silent co-host on the show. You more than welcome to come on the show. What everybody should see, this brother don't walk my walk. He don't walk the same walk that I walk. But this my brother. I love this brother to death, man. I appreciate you coming on the show and being a guest on our show. Is there anything else you wanted to say before I let you go?
Nah, man. I think we pretty much covered all the stuff I was going to talk about.
Hell yeah.
Just once again, appreciate y'all having me, man. It's always love, man. And next time I'm out there, you already know you're the first man I'm gonna hit.
Damn right.
You already know.
Damn right, man. I appreciate you. Come on, man. You take care of them kids. Tell your wife it was a pleasure when I met her the first time, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening, B. I'll talk to you later.
All right, no doubt, my brother.
All right, no sweat. All right, no sweat. All right, peace. Man, I love that brother. That's my man right there. Make sure, make sure y'all follow B Dot on the gram. It's B Dot the God. Make sure y'all follow him on the gram, man. Check out his battles. The brother is a monster.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yohana is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Gathered on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.